Hey, I'm back with another movie recommendation. This time we're talking about Mr. Boogedy and Bride of Boogedy. It's a double feature. These aren't as well known, but if you know them, you love them. It's so good. I can't recommend this movie enough. Mr. Boogedy is a 1986 made-for-TV movie. Wait! Don't go anywhere. Stay with me here. It's really good. It aired on the Disney Sunday Movie. That's the then current iteration of The Wonderful World of Disney. Do you remember this show? It had this awesome opening sequence. Michael Eisner and a lot of times Mickey Mouse would intro the show.
And look at that. The guys in the special effects department here at the studio knew I was introducing Mr. Boogedy. And this is their idea of a little joke.
A lot of people like myself, it's the first kind of scary movie you ever saw as a kid. Perfect for scaring the living hell out of a 3 or 4-year-old. Not scary at all if you're an adult. Actually, surprisingly, intentionally funny movie. Really smart. Goofy stuff.
Great. I'm keeping my coffee. Boogedy!
The basic plot is a family moves into a haunted house in New England. Specifically, the house is haunted by a ghoul named, you guessed it, Mr. Boogedy, who's holding captive the ghost son of the ghost woman who rejected him. The reason why they're moving there is because the dad has bought a franchise of a gag store, so he loves cheesy dad jokes.
Rubber eggs, Daddy? Again?
What do you think?
And the mom's over it, but she still kind of loves it too. What makes this movie so good is the specific tone of sort of ironic detachment. The whole movie, they're clearly being haunted, and only the older sister seems to be scared of it. Everyone else is just like,
Oh boy, these are great! Look at this! I can sell these. I can sell these.
I don't believe this! Honey,
The Boogedy Man walked all over me. Isn't this great?
they're all taking the ghost seriously, but no one's quite as scared as they should be, especially the parents. Even when confronted with a ghost, the dad's still just being a dad.
Hey, so you don't want to talk? Fine. But this is our house, and we're not leaving, so forget it.
You got Richard Mazur, who's probably a guy, you don't know his name, but he just shows up in everything. He's wonderful. You got Bud from Married with Children. The mom's great. The whole cast is great. Particularly Mr. Witherspoon, played by John Astin.
I have a son your age. He's unusual.
John Astin can only make a movie better. You'd be watching the worst movie in the world, but if John Astin's in it, it's good while he's on the screen. He's the town historian who's weird and just creepy in the most fun way. He chews on every single line. Check this out.
I'd hate to see anything evil happen to you or your family.
Really, this is one of my favorite comic performances ever.
I want you to keep an eye out for the Boogedy Man.
Boogedy! 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 Boo! Okay, Neil, we'll be watching for him.
But it's not all funny. Check out how genuinely creepy this gets for a kid's movie.
Sold his soul for a magic cloak.
It's really hard to describe what makes this movie so great, but check it out. It's not a ton of investment. Give yourself 45 minutes to watch Mr. Boogedy. And if you do like it, then definitely stick around. Watch the sequel. It came out the next year, 1987. I had to trade tapes at grade school to find a copy of Bride of Boogedy. The kid who gave me the tapes swore there was a third movie called Grandpa Boogedy, but it turns out that kid's a liar and a piece of trash. In Bride of Boogedy, the town's about to hold its annual carnival, but guess who's coming back? The answer is Mr. Boogedy. Bride of Boogedy's got a bigger cast, bigger budget, it's twice as long. They have a ton of fun with stuff. They've got a whole section where the dad is possessed by Mr. Boogedy. It's great.
Just kidding.
Boogedy.
Just kidding.
It takes a long time to get to Mr. Boogedy, but really there's only one real drawback, but it's a big one.
Hi, Mr. Witherspoon.
They recast Mr. Witherspoon. Instead of the amazing John Astin, we've got this guy.
It was Mr. Boogedy. Oh, yes.
Apparently there was a parenthetical on every line in the script for this guy that just said, excited whisper.
This being Lucifer Falls, I'd say it's a definite maybe.
It's disappointing, but to make up for it, They've added Eugene Levy, who just elevates the whole movie so much.
I don't like carnivals. And I don't like kids. So go on, get out of here.
This guy, you would talk about chewing scenery now.
Well, listen, if you people have a problem, then why don't you talk to Mr. Big City Hotshot Davis?
Eugene Levy does so much eyebrow acting in this movie, it's phenomenal.
Oh, a real expert, huh? 5 years old, and I guess you know everything.
I'm not 5 years old.
All in all, they're two fun family movies that are way better than they ought to be. Do yourself a favor, check out Mr. Boogedy and Bride of Boogedy.
This house is not haunted.